I am a producer.
Kumi, thank you so much for taking the time to be here.
Of course, thank you for having me. I am a producer.
You're a
yes.
producer, okay, so you do that. Do you work with other people as well?
I do, yeah.
You do?
Mm-hmm.
How many people are you working with right now? Can you say?
When we film movie, we hire a big group of people.
Okay.
Usually, but for film production, we are not as large as the one in America. We usually start off from 20 to 30s.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me how that goes.
It's been really interesting. I have never made a film in Japan,
Right.
and this is a completely different industry in Japan.
But you are Japanese.
I am Japanese, but I lived in America for a long, long time, and it's kind of like first time for me to be here and work with Japanese.
Okay.
They are really hardworking people, but at the same time,
Wait. Why do you talk like they're separate from you? Wait just a minute.
I know.
Wait,
I know,
you're Japanese, right?
I know, I am Japanese. Yes.
Okay, all right.
Yes, I am 100% Japanese.
All right.
Yes.
All right. But Japanese are very hardworking people. The
They-
world
they
knows
are.
that. The
Yes.
world knows that.
Yes. I
Right?
know.
And they love what they do, and they don't seem to have any jealousy as far as other people's position. It doesn't matter
I
because the
don't
people
think so.
cleaning do that
They
just
love
as
what
much
they
as the
do.
person in the office.
I love that fact.
Isn't that
It
beautiful?
is so nice.
You never see people complaining about their job,
Yeah.
and they'll do a job that we would think in other countries are low level,
Yeah.
and then they'll put on a suit after they finish and get on the train to go home.
Yeah, true. I know.
Isn't that interesting?
I know, it is. And they have a pride in what they do, you know? Even like janitors, they have such a pride. And you know, like Japanese bathroom, sometimes there's a name who designated, you know, to
That's
clean.
right.
That's the
time and
pride
stuff.
right there.
Yes.
Like, you know, I did this, so I have a pride in
Yeah, that's why it's
what
so,
I
yeah.
do. It's so nice.
Isn't that nice?
I love that.
So you're talking. So back in the production business, when you're producing,
Yeah.
how does that go?
I love that everybody, makeup, camera crew, sounds guy, everybody's pride in what they do. And I really appreciate it and I love that. I love to see it.
Do you have any problem because you're a woman and you're producing? You're the boss.
No, not at all. I don't have any problems.
Nobody ever looks at you and says, like,
No.
no. Really?
They love,
What, the men?
every
'Cause you see,
single one of them loves their position.
the men too.
Yeah, they love what they do. They
Okay.
feel so comfortable in their position. That's I think it's Japanese things that they like to belong to some type of place, you know.
As long
They
as it's a group and everyone does
they love to
what's supposed
belong
to do.
in their position, and I love that. But at the same time, they have so much pride in what they do. They forget about business. When it comes to business, it's different. Business and they're more like artists, you know.
Okay.
They like to execute what they do. Like they want to do the best job for what they do. Like could be makeup, could be sounds, but they forget about the business because I have to think about whole picture as a business as well. You know,
Right.
they take so much time to bring the perfect job, which is nice, but the time is money for us, you know? So like it's very difficult to juggle all those.
I got it.
Yeah.
So, for example, there may be something like one guy might be doing lighting,
Yeah.
but he's taking so long to set up his lighting, and you're saying, I have to shoot this thing because we have this window to shoot it in.
Exactly.
You can't be that perfect on that.
Exactly. So
That's what you're talking about. Okay,
I
I got
told
you.
them, hey, I understand you want to do your best, but we cannot extend one more day. One more day costs so much money for us. You know, we don't have this location any longer.
Right.
But they don't understand.
So what happens? Do they push back? Do they get upset with you?
They do. Unfortunately, you know,
So what happens? How do you handle that?
I have to keep telling them what I need to be done today, you know. Cannot take any more time. We have to finish right now. We're gonna shoot right now. They're not happy. Those artists are not happy, you know.
Right.
They say like, this is not ready. I'm not ready. This is not the best. But
They didn't finish their performance.
yes, that is very interesting. Even I explain what it is. I need to
Right.
think about business as well. They don't understand.
So
They
how do
don't
you-
want to understand maybe.
Okay, so that's a challenge you have, Kumi. So
Yeah.
how do you deal with that?
I'm still struggling myself. I'm still learning. I think, except like keep telling them what needs to be done because of the business factor. I just need to keep telling them,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Maybe before the production starts, maybe I should emphasize that more.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah.
If you did that. If you sat down, and you know how they do script writing, and people sit down and they go over their go over their parts first, and see how it's said, and then the guy say, maybe you want to make that softer, or maybe you want to be more dramatic in that.
Yeah.
I think if you sat down with your group and said, look, we're going to have lighting issues, we're going to have sound and everything else. I want all of you to know and get ready. I'm going to give you 15 minutes to get the lighting up.
Yeah.
You're going to have 5 minutes for sound. Do you think you can do it? And get them to agree to it.
Yeah.
Then the burden's on them, because Japanese love to be precise.
Right, exactly.
If you say, I said 15 minutes, wait, excuse me, that was 16 minutes, you're close.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do that, I think it'd be a little bit better for you.
I know.
Yeah.
Right, true.
But you said the right thing when you said the pride they take in what they
That's
do.
the pride. I know. It's such
so
a good
beautiful.
quality. I
Isn't
love that.
Beautiful?
Yes.
So just the workaround's easy, because you have the other thing the other way around. People will do it at the time you say it's bad work.
Right.
That's worse.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more. You tell me about the project you're working on now with your partner. The one you're doing in Tokyo, in Azabu Juban.
Yes. So actually, our office is located in Azabu Juban, and I love this area.
Right.
We decided to use this location for the movie as well. So we're going to shoot a lot of local cafes and skyscrapers, and also we're going to shoot in Tokyo American Club as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is so good. So when are you thinking about producing? When is this movie? How many movies have you done so far?
I only made 2
Okay.
since I moved back to Japan.
Right. Where were they made? Where were they? You made them here?
Yeah, in Japan.
2 in Japan. Okay.
Yes.
And what kind of movies were they?
The first one we made in Japan was it's a true story based on a true book. It's called Empty Mirror. European guy came to Japan and learn Zen monastery.
Okay.
It's back then. It's before World War II, which is pretty rare for Western guy come to Japan and practice Zen. So we have a right to make a movie for that book. So we filmed that movie in Kamakura temple. Yeah, we used a beautiful temple called Enkakuji, and it was long production. We shot maybe 2 months.
Okay.
And we get to see all the monks' life, and it was very interesting experience for me. Yeah.
You got to see all the monks do what?
Monks, practicing every day because
practice
we are
every day.
shooting
Right.
every day.
Oh,
So we get to see
and
all.
you've never seen that before.
I never seen
Yeah, most people
monks'
haven't.
everyday routine and stuff. It's
What was it? That must have been so interesting.
It was so interesting. And for them, it was interesting for them to watch us filming as well. They don't really see people filming every day. But
Are these both male and female monks?
we only saw a male.
Male.
Yeah.
Because some females are monks
There
too,
is,
right?
very
Yes.
rarely. There is.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
And they have to shave their heads too, right?
Yeah, they all have to.
They do. They all do. Okay, so you've done that. What did you do prior to getting into producing? Are you doing only producing, or do you do other things as well?
I do everything.
Well, talk to us what the other things
For
are.
instance, I really do everything. I don't write the script. I also do audition. I hold audition. Yeah.
How's that? What is that like?
It's so impressive that actors, they really want a job, or they really want to.
But you have to say
cast.
no sometimes too, don't you?
A lot of times.
Well, how do you
Majority,
do it? How do you do it? Do you do it personally?
No, I would
Or you
email
see the
them. What else? But the reality is, it's so, in Japan, it's very nice if you get the reply result.
Right.
In America,
Right.
they don't say nothing. If
Oh,
they,
they don't say
nothing,
anything. Oh, they don't tell you anything.
They
You
don't
just
tell you
just don't get a
anything.
call back.
right.
They call it a callback. You
It
just
means
not
you
to-
don't get the job.
Right. You're
Yeah.
sitting around waiting.
Right.
And then finally, if the movie comes out, you figure, I guess I didn't get the job.
Yes, exactly. That's how it goes in America. So it's very nice of us to
Just tell
let
them.
them know. Yeah.
Tell them.
Yeah.
That must hurt sometimes, though,
I
doesn't
know, because some of them are so
They're putting their
good.
whole heart into
It's so
it.
hard to.
it? So how do you okay, when it's that good, how do you make the decision?
Of course, we focus on the actings,
Okay.
but also we have to see if it's really fit the character that the producer was describing as a role. So good acting. There's a lot of good actors, but we have to have the right personality to that role.
Okay. For the play,
Yeah.
for the movie that you're producing at that time.
Exactly. Yeah. and also hold balance of the cast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we are not necessarily picking the best acting, I think. It's more like right character for that.
Okay. Right. Do you have any that keep on coming back
We do. Yeah.
that you like, and they can do different parts, and you say, okay, that
Yes.
person,
Yes.
you do that?
Yeah.
That's always comfortable, I would think. That would be more comfortable because you already know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
And you just tell them, okay, now I want you to do it for this part.
Right.
Okay, what else do you do outside of that? You do that. You take care of the finance. I know that. Okay. What about location? Who do you
I do
go out-
location. I do location. I scout. Yeah, I scout for locations. I also get the props.
All the props.
Costumes.
For example, like what? Okay,
doctors. Doctor need the.
Right, it has to have the gown and stuff. Yeah, and it has to have stethoscope and everything.
Yes.
Okay. So whatever the prop may be, you have to go out and get that. You don't have assistants? Come on, you have to have some people helping you.
We do, but we love to do it by ourselves
to make sure
as well.
it's the way you want it to be, yeah. So these are considered indie movies, right? Outside of doing this producing, what did you do prior to that? Or what do you do? That's all you do now? That's what you, full
That's
time,
what I
that's
do
not
right
full
now.
time.
Yeah, right
Okay,
now,
okay.
yeah, full time.
Right. So prior to that, what were you doing?
I was doing the real estate in California.
Okay.
Yeah.
What type of real estate did you do?
Residential.
Residential. And what areas in California did you deal in?
Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Torrance, kind of like all over in LA.
I know that area. I'm from Los Angeles.
Okay, yeah, you told me that.
Do you know Diamond Bar?
Yeah,
You
I
that
know.
area? So I went up through there. I was thinking about getting property there. I tell people all the time, Kumi, when they come here and I give them, like if we have interviews, when I used to do the interviews here, I'd say you're going to go through culture shock. After you've lived in Japan for a year and go back to wherever you came from in the world and realize what you learned to put up with.
True.
Because you don't get it here.
Yeah.
You come here, you can go into a convenience store and they'll put their hands like this to catch the change if it falls out of your...
Exactly. They give you hands like this,
right underneath it, and put the change
remember.
And you know what they do that for? In case it falls out.
Of course, I know that what that for.
But men don't think that. I'm thinking, she's touching my hand? Okay, baby. You know,
so funny.
So funny. At the beginning, that's how you look at it. You're thinking, this girl's touching me, shoot.
Interesting.
She likes me that, and she's smiling. But if you say something to them, their expressions will change right away. Like if you say, what are you doing? They go, Nani? Because that's the conditioning to do the job. You get treated better in a convenience store here than you do in the fine jewelry store in the U.S.
I agree with you. I 100% agree with you.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's hard to explain that to people.
I know.
And then they come here and they think Japanese are talking about... That's one thing. The Japanese don't talk about people around them. That's today for Japanese.
Japanese don't talk about people around meaning.
For example, let's say they see you and you're wearing pink, the purple stuff. They wouldn't say, すごい晴れじゃない? They would never say that, even to someone next to them. But they will say, あ、きれい、美しい. And they'll do that even quietly. But if you understand Japanese, you go, that's fine. But they will never say something discouraging.
Of course not.
I love this country.
I know, me too. I love it.
How long have you lived in Japan? Did you go to school here?
Yes. So I was born in Japan and I grew up in Japan. I moved to America when I was maybe 30. So
so you're really Nihonjin. What are you talking about?
I am Nihonjin, 100%.
You have to struggle to be American.
That's how I feel.
You have to. You can't, because your Fuinki Zimbu was already put in. And you probably didn't like Japan when you left. You were getting sick and tired of it.
You know, the funny thing is, everybody wants something you don't have, right? Always, right? Yes.
It always looks better over there.
Exactly. So when I was younger, 20s, when I was living in Japan, I was eating American food. Because I love Western stuff. I love Western style. I like English. Blah, 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 right? Everything. Western culture is so fascinating to me. And then I actually moved to America, and I lived there for a long, long time. And this is not what I was thinking. I mean, I love America, but, I just appreciate how Japan was so comfortable and, living
what are some
here.
of the things that kind of...
Oh, my God.
Bad,
you know that. Healthcare.
Healthcare. Okay.
My kids were sick, having...
Oh, how many kids do you choose?
I have 2 boys.
How old are they?
14 and 16.
Oh, they're
Yeah.
the love of your life, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
Do you have them in international school? Do they speak English as well?
They speak English,
You
yes.
made sure. See, if they were girls, you probably wouldn't have made them do anything. You would have sat back and said, "You do what you want to do. You live your life." But your boys, you said, "No, you guys are going to speak English."
They are so American.
Where do you have them in school? Where are they in school? You have them in the ASAJ?
No, actually, no, they are born and raised in America. They went to school in America.
But
LA.
they're still in school now.
No. I moved back in Japan a year ago.
So where
Year
are
and
your
a half ago.
boys?
My boys are with me. One boy's with me, one boy's in America.
But they're teenagers, right?
Yeah, they're teenagers.
So where do they go to school now?
Right now, they're homeschooling.
Okay, all right,
online.
okay, good. Okay, so you haven't let them go to Japanese school at all?
They did during the COVID. They were here for only year and a half.
Okay, that's not
That
enough.
doesn't really count, yeah.
So they didn't do their elementary school here at all?
Not at all.
That's where people are made Japanese.
True.
It has to be enough. If they don't go through shogaku, they will never know the fuinki, the kimochi, what wari means. That happens in shogaku.
Yeah.
And that's why I had my boys go there.
Yeah. But my boy went there for a year and a half. They pick up a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. They have like a Japanese like a gesture. You know, they
They
bow.
understand that, right? Okay, yeah, they got that.
失礼します。
Yeah,
お疲れ様でした.
Right,
Stuff like
right,
that.
right.
Yeah,
That's
very
good.
Japanese. Yeah,
That's
I
good.
love
They
that.
speak the language?
They do.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
But the English accent's better.
Of course,
Of course it
100%.
is, of course it is.
100%, yeah.
So tell me, what were some of the things that you when you went to the States, I'm sure you loved it at the beginning. It's like
Yeah.
going into Disneyland. You loved it.
Yeah.
What started to, let's say, give you certain concerns as you stayed there longer?
Biggest thing was going to the hospital.
Okay.
And I had a pretty decent insurance, health insurance, but every time I go there, after insurance covered, the bill was $400, $200, $300. And I started to think, it's cost so much. And
For
then
doing what?
sometimes like small things, like my ear was bugging me, so I just wanted to quick checkup, and doctor couldn't even find out what it was, but my bill was like $400. Like after insurance is covered, right? So
After the insurance.
Yeah.
So the real price was like $1,000 or something.
more.
Or more.
Yeah. But you know how long is the
No, I don't.
You
I
don't know?
I've lived, listen, I came here when I was 22. I was drafted when I was 19. One
So
year
you
out of
did-
college. My first year in college, I got a draft notice to go to Vietnam. So I enlisted into the Air Force.
Wow.
And then I stayed in there until I was 20. I came to Japan in the Air Force, Yokota Air Force Base, in 74 at 22. Got out at 24. Finished. Went back to the States, came back to Japan.
Yeah.
Because I went there. I told my father I'm coming back. But I had an apartment here already.
Yeah.
I've been here 50 years, since 72.
Wow.
So because it's 25 now, so it'd be 51 years soon. But I've been here 50 years. And I'd go back and look at the U.S. and stuff, but this was more of a challenge for me. And I felt I could do more of what I really wanted to do. I thought I could do business here and I could do other things because they didn't have anyone to compare me to.
True.
So I said,
You have a niche market in Japan, being Japan.
that's how I felt.
Yeah.
I felt, but you have to come with it. But I didn't deal with the Japanese. I'm dealing with my own people. I'm dealing with foreigners. I said I wanted to lead here in this area.
Yeah.
And that was a challenge. That's what turned this hair gray.
I respect for the business part of America, how good they are. But at the same time, for me, it's just too much profit chasing. Profit comes so much first. In the end, they are sacrificing
Their health,
yes.
their relationships.
Yeah.
The time that you spend just enjoying. That's something. You just made me think of something, Kumi, that I liked about here that I didn't have before I came. My wife's Japanese. And we used to, when she was a student, every summer we would take my RX-7 and we'd drive around. Like first summer we went around Hokkaido.
Yeah.
We drive up there. Then the next one we did all of Honshu.
Yeah.
Then the next one after that we did Shikoku. Then we did Kyushu.
Yeah.
All in my car.
Yeah.
And every time we went, I just wanted to drive and get there and have a time driving, my red sports car.
Yeah.
She would make me stop to look at the flowers.
Oh.
'Cause she loved it. And the Japanese do that all the time.
That's
The
so
sakura.
yeah.
And they really, love it. And I'm thinking,
Yeah,
how many
yeah,
times
yeah.
can you take a picture of the
Right,
same
right,
flower?
right. I know. You know, Sakura time, they're obsessed
How many
with
times
taking
can you?
photos.
How many times can you? And how many shrines can you look at?
I know, I know.
But I love it because it's like you said. It's not chasing profit. It has nothing to do with anything.
Right, right, right.
But your
Yeah, some
kimochi.
has satisfying them, you know?
I had to learn to admire that.
Yeah,
Take
I
time,
don't
stop
have that.
and
Yeah,
you don't have that.
I
Where you
don't
can.
have that so much in me, so I had to learn that too.
You have to get it back. You had it. You've been here for 30 years. You can't. Your first, you had it. You just lost it when you went there. You said,
Maybe
"You're looking
I'm
for
too
money."
worried about.
You
I'm
said,
too worried
"Money?
about. Oh,
I'm gonna get the
how
money."
can I pay rent? How can I make for my gas? Change
But
me.
that will take care of itself. But we're not taught to believe that.
Yeah,
If you do what you do with your heart and you do it well, the rest will come.
yeah,
You'll know. You'll be able to live because it only comes to those. I believe like this. You'll only get as much as you really need to do what you have to do. If you have big things to do, then you're going to get big things.
yeah.
But if you're just doing it because you want to have a lot of toys and play around, it won't come. It won't. And if you want it, all you'll get is wanting. You won't get it. But if you put action into it, don't worry. You can't tell what time and when it's going to happen, but it will happen. So you said the states you went back there and the healthcare was one issue.
Yeah.
Was there anything else? What about being Asian and being there? Did you ever
Yeah,
have any
yeah.
hassles with that?
So only time I felt little. I don't want to say discriminated, but I
Okay.
felt a little bit weird to be
Asian.
who I am.
Okay.
Was the during the COVID. In the beginning of the COVID.
Because everybody thought you were Chinese.
Yes, and people come to me.
And they didn't care if you weren't or not. You look at.
They came to me and then they cough so much, fake cough on me.
Are you kidding
I know
me?
that happened.
With their mask on or off?
No, they're faking it. They're not sick, but they cough on me.
I know, but cough on you
no,
with
no
or
mask
without.
on it. No mask on it. But back then, beginning of the COVID, American didn't have a mask. The things I love about America,
Yeah, the things that you like.
I think open-mindedness. I think people are so open-minded in America compared to Japan. And then I love the weather.
In California.
In California,
Because if
yes.
you're in the Midwest, I think you'd be thinking a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
different thing.
I know. I love the weather so much. And I love the fact that Americans appreciate uniqueness. I love that.
Where everybody stands
Being
out.
different is so cool, you know. In Japan, if you're different, you know, there's an old saying in Japanese, like they try to hit the nails if something is
Sticks
low.
out.
Yes.
If it doesn't match.
That mentality, right? That makes Japanese so peaceful. Keep the harmonies. It's completely opposite. America, if you stands out, that's kind of cool, right? And I love that. I love that.
Now, which do you think? Now that you said that you're coming back to Japan and you appreciate it in a different way, how do you feel about things now?
Oh, I definitely appreciate. I'm realizing how amazing and unique Japan itself, and it's just one of the unique country where people are so peaceful and respectful. And no other country is like this, I feel like.
Do you think the rules that Japan have make it that way?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
And the education system from the elementary school.
That's what
when I was in elementary school, I have to clean the bathroom, I have to clean
no
the
janitors,
floor.
right.
Yeah, and then we try to keep, public place clean and yeah.
See, it's hard to appreciate something, like you said, unless you're there to see it. So when you see public places anywhere else in the world, basically,
yeah,
you come here and you think, the public bathrooms here are cleaner than some people's homes are in other countries.
Yeah, true.
The bathrooms are cleaner than you see in some people's homes.
But because we don't, Western culture, they wear shoes too in the house.
And I didn't understand how that was looked upon, but when you start thinking about it, in Japan, you could probably do it. You know why? The streets are clean.
True.
But you can only get that perspective. It's hard to get it through YouTube, even though you see it. You really have to be there.
Right. I think you have to live there and you have to experience. You have to work in the environment as Americans. You cannot be just just a tourist, you know.
You
have
can't
to,
watch it on in a movie. You
yes,
can't.
yes.
What makes you want to be a producer? What makes you like to produce and do that? What
I
about do you enjoy?
really enjoy. It's very satisfying process with bunch of people aim to create one product, and step by step we can see it's getting closer to the final movies, and also when I see the final product with everybody else, we have so much memories and histories. Remember that scene, remember that part, like they have so much history behind it, and we become family as well because we see each other every day. We eat together. Sometimes they sleep in front of you. It become a family, and it's like product. It just makes me feel like it's my baby. You know, when I see it, I have so much flashbacks. You know, oh we were doing this together. Remember the accident? Like, you know, it's everything has a memory to it. It's beautiful.
What are some of your fondest memories when you're doing it?
Fighting, fighting.
What kind of fighting? What kind of fighting?
Okay, so as I mentioned you before, like, you know, like they have so much pride in their jobs, right? For instance, like the makeups. So makeup girls tell me, Kumi, I'm not ready. Okay, but I have no more time. I cannot extend this location any more longer. We cannot come back tomorrow. This is it. But she fights for me. But this hair is not enough. I have to do more. But the reality is camera doesn't show that part. Like I tell her, don't worry, the camera doesn't even show the details. But she kept telling me, as far as my credit in the film, my name will be credit, I cannot show this hair. It's too messy for me. So endless battle.
So what do you do? What do you, I want to see that.
I just pull the actor from her.
Did you really?
The actor, yeah.
And what'd she do?
She just get so upset. She just get upset and don't talk to me for a day. Like those things, you know. I have to do it because, you know, save the film. I cannot keep costing money and go bankruptcy, you know.
That is so good.
Just, yeah. But in the end, everybody, you know, when we see the product, they're happy, you know.
Did she get happy?
Yeah, and we laugh about those, you know.
Did you laugh
remember
about
the time, like you yelled at me? I remember, you know, that's the process we have to take.
What do you see happening in the future? What do you see happening in the future with this production? What you're doing? Because you're going to do this one, you're going to finish this one. When is this one going to be finished?
We're going to start shooting end of this month and finish filming end of March.
Oh, so you're only taking a month. You're only going to have a month. Wait.
Yeah, just this one is a month only. Yeah, and then...
How long is a 2 hour? How long is it going to be? An hour?
Usually 2 hours. Less than 2 hours, yeah.
Okay. And it's a romance?
Suspense / romance.
Okay. All right. And then, what do you have? Do you plan them out? Do you have other ones
we want to keep making movies while we are in Japan, and we want to submit to festivals,
right? Like
Cannes festivals, you know, a lot of movie festivals. And
are you thinking about leaving Japan?
No, but I think we will keep making film in Japan. But if big, like, you know, like opportunity comes from Hollywood, they will, you know, tell you, like, can you make this film over here or
can you be in Finland? You say, yeah.
Yeah, we go.
The French Riviera, yeah, we'll be there.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's good. So you plan on doing this for a while. You're not going to stop.
Yeah, we keep
You
making
love doing this. Do you do anything outside of this?
Outside of the, you mean any?
Do you have any other kind of business that you're doing?
Not really.
Not right now. Okay. All right. When you went to, you went through your schooling here. Yes, you did. So, and then when you finished school, what was the first job you got?
I was working in real estate in Japan for a little bit.
Did you already learn? Had you already learned English?
I was able to speak English back then too. Yeah.
When did you start learning English? What grade? How old were you?
My father was travel agent. He owned a travel agency.
Okay. Where were you born in Japan?
I was born in Tokyo, Nakano area.
Nakano, okay, all right.
But my dad had a travel agency, and he always struggled himself not being able to speak English. Even he traveled so many places, he always had to have a translator. So when he had me, he made sure that I speak English.
Are you the only child?
No, my dad has 5. I'm a oldest among 5.
Right. Same mom?
Same mom for 4. And
For the
then
first 4, and then the
yeah,
last
little one is
Is your dad still with us now? He's
my
still,
dad.
still alive?
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
still-
yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Oh. And mom?
My mom's alive too. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And all your siblings are living here in Japan?
Yeah. Everybody in Japan except the youngest one is in Australia.
Okay, so I know he speaks English.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what about your other siblings? Do they speak English?
Yeah, they do.
He made sure all of them speak
Yeah.
English.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Did all of them get married to Japanese, or did they marry outside?
Actually, I'm the only one didn't marry to Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah, they're all married to Japanese.
Okay. All right. Oh, so your first husband wasn't your husband?
No, American.
Oh, American. Okay. Right. So you said your father wanted to make sure you spoke English. So you started learning English when?
Elementary school.
Oh, he made
when
sure.
I was 7.
Okay. So you've almost always known English, basically.
Right, but the studying in Japan is different. It's not real English. It's like, hi, how are you?
This is a pen.
Yeah,
Like
that
that
type
song,
of
that kind of thing.
English. I pick up more English. I think I really work in America.
There's not
Japanese
enough
are
to complain
so
about.
like a program to follow the rules. They
that's
hate
good.
breaking the rules. I love it.
For an army, that's the best thing in the world.
I know, but it's not good for the business sometimes.
But if you know how to work it, it will. That's what I'm saying. Your technique, now we're off camera. We have to get off. Let's finish this up because I want to tell you more. Yeah, that's good. But the one thing I can say on that, just make sure you plan ahead of time and tell them what the rule is. Then you'll win. You say, you get 15 minutes for hair. I guarantee she'll learn how to do it in 15 minutes. The project you're working on now, you're going to finish up the end of March.
Yeah.
What are you going to do after that?
We're going to keep making next film.
The next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see you really enjoy doing this.
I do.
That makes you feel really good. So how long have you been a member of the club?
Just started last October. I'm very new.
Okay. Had you belonged to a club in the States, in LA? Did you belong to any clubs there? This is your first private club?
Yeah.
Kumi, before I end the podcast, there's always a question I like to ask.
Yes.
All right. If you could magically go back in time and meet the younger Kumi and give her advice based upon what you know right now, how old would you be at that time, and what advice would you give yourself?
I would probably go back like early 20s and tell myself that don't worry about the things that you think you cannot do it. Like, you're just not confident in it. You're always worried about. And not taking risks. I would probably tell myself, just take risks. More risks. Yeah.
I can't think of any better advice. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lance. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I want to thank all of you for watching or listening to this podcast. And never forget, it's all on loan, so continue to reach for the stars.
Because you're too blessed to be stressed.